On News Hour tonight, fuel scarcity, price hikes nationwide as motorists pay above 1,000 naira per litre. Bayelsa Governor Diri lawmakers resign from PDP, set to join APC. Bandits attack Katsina communities minutes after peace accord. Tributes pour in for Kenya's late former Prime Minister, Odinga. Hello and welcome to News Hour on Trust TV. I'm Muhammad Kudu Abubakar. Nigeria's fuel situation has turned increasingly volatile, with prices rising sharply across the country and long queues returning to filling stations. The cost of petrol now hitting over 1,000 naira per litre in some cities. It is also worsening living conditions and threatening small businesses already struggling with inflation. From Jos to Gombe, Benue to Maiduguri, the story is the same. Rising prices, long queues, and frustration among motorists. The report.
Across several states, fuel stations have either shut down or are selling petrol at record high prices. The average pump price now ranges from 950 to 1,100 naira per litre, a surge many attribute to lingering supply chain disruptions and the fallout from the recent dispute involving the Dangote refinery and oil workers' unions. In Jos, Plateau State, most filling stations visited on Wednesday were not selling petrol. A few that opened sold at 950 naira per litre. Motorists expressed frustration over the price hike.
It is very scarce because some of the filling stations, many they are closing. But Mobile, they are just trying their best. They are selling it in a good price. But we don't know about the thing they hike, small. Because at least from 89 right now, you come to 920, 910, 920, 930, 940, right now 940, 950.
Abiyulayi tun daga bakin kwalta dai yanzu. Har zuwa gidan mai yanzu, har zuwa gindin injin da na sha yanzu.
I queued at the station. The fuel is expensive because we are still buying it at the rate of 900 naira or more. Before now, I used to fill my tank for between 7,000 naira and 8,000 naira, but now it's over 80,000 naira. That's why I don't travel more than 100 kilometers now, because I can't afford it.
In Gombe, motorists and commercial drivers say the recent jump from about 920 naira to almost 1,000 naira per litre is crippling transport operations. Many stations remain closed, worsening the scarcity.
There has been an increase of about 30 naira per litre, recently from between 910 and 930. Earlier this week, we woke up and buy it at 960 to 970 per litre. This is a sabotage of Dangote's effort to reduce the fuel price. Some people just want the poor to continue suffering. Many filling stations are closed, and unfortunately, it is not due to supply challenges or scarcity. Instead, they are even increasing the pump price. We are finding it difficult to get fuel because most fuel stations are closed. Even with the price now almost 1,000 per litre, we still have to queue.
In Makurdi, Benue State, dealers blame the spike on an alleged rift between Dangote and Pengassan, which they say has disrupted access to supply. Residents say the impact is being felt on transport, goods and family budgets.
Before, even last week, about 3 days or 4 days ago, we are selling 889.9. From that 89.9, the following day, the team moved to 899.9. Then from that 99.9, at the same day, the following day again, the team moved to 929.9. Then as of day before yesterday, the team moved from 959.9. That is what we are selling.
Since last month, we have been buying fuel 885 naira.
But since we celebrated independence, fuel went up. And it's not fair. We are suffering. Nigeria is not trying for our president is not trying for us. He promised us that he will do us well, but now we are suffering. All the whole masses are suffering. And it's very bad. Now fuel is 960 naira. Government station is selling 960 naira. Why private station is selling 925 naira? Is that fair? The government is killing us. So they should do something about it.
Very frustrating. Though I don't buy fuel, I'm a business person. So let's say a place that would have been like sending away bill of 2,000, because of the increment, you will hear something like 5,000, 6,000, and it's very, very frustrating. So I don't know if there is anything the government can do about it to help us at least regulate the fuel price. It should be stable, not going up today, coming down tomorrow, still going up the next day.
The people that are average in terms of money before, they are now the poorest people you can think of. Even feeding has become a problem. Fuel, now that we are buying fuel, it was 89 per liter before. Then you come and remove it, and now we are buying fuel almost 1,000 now. And this 1,000, only few people can be able to get it. As an old man, where do you think I can, what can I do again? It is hard work that is actually keeping me. I have to struggle to be able to feed my family.
Last week, we bought fuel. It was 910 naira. That was on Monday. Tuesday, it increased to 910 naira to 930 naira, like that. Like today, we bought for 950 something naira. This is so frustrating. We can't cope with this kind of situation again.
In Maiduguri, the situation has worsened. Petrol now sells between 1,000 and 1,100 naira per litre. Reports show that while a few stations remain open, many motorists are spending hours in queues.
Some filling stations, if you are lucky, they will sell at 960 per litre. We want the government to reduce the price because it is affecting us. The price has not dropped. Before now, it was 930 and 970 per litre, but now it is more than 1,000 naira. Some filling stations at Bulunkutu and Damboa Road are selling at the same price. There are those selling at 1,000 and above, and we are struggling to make a living. We want the government to reduce it to at least 500 naira. The government should please do something.
The uncertainty around fuel supply has persisted despite claims of a truce between Dangote refinery and oil unions. For many Nigerians, the rise in palm price is more than an inconvenience. It's deepening the hardship in a country already struggling with high transport costs, inflation, and falling purchasing power. As fuel prices soar past 1,000 naira per litre nationwide, the government faces growing pressure to stabilize supply and address what many describe as a deepening cost of living crisis.
Nigeria's inflation rate eased by 2.1 percentage points to 18.02% in September 2025 from 20.12% in August 2025, marking the sixth consecutive month of decline since April 2025. This is the first time in 3 years that the nation's inflation rate fell below 20%. The National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, disclosed these on Wednesday in its Consumer Price Index, CPI, report for September 2025. Food inflation also declined by 5.0 percentage points to 16.87% in September, compared to 21.87% in August 2025. As a result of a decline in the average prices of maize, grains, garri, beans, millet, potatoes, onions, eggs, tomatoes, and fresh pepper, among others. According to MBS report, food inflation on a year-on-year basis was highest in Ekiti at 28.68% and Rivers State at 24.18%, Nasarawa State at 22.74%, while Bauchi State 2.81%, Niger State 8.38%, and Anambra State 8.41%. The lowest rise in food inflation year on year. Joining us via phone call to discuss more on Nigeria's inflation story is economist Yusha'u Aliyu. Yusha'u Aliyu, thank you for joining us.
Good evening, Nigeria. Thank you.
As an economist, what do you make of this decrease in inflation rate that the NBS told us about?
It shows that the attempt of the central bank to reduce inflation is yielding results, and at the same time also the intervention of government in trying to reduce food inflation is also showing a level of strength. It is clear that if the prices continue to decline, then purchasing powers of individuals will continue to increase. And when it is increasing, the productivity of the economy, it is likely to improve. And that improvement is what has been forecast by the national budget, by also international financial institutions, and which is also very significant to the growth and development of Nigeria as a nation.
Yeah, but just the story we had before you came on board, maybe you had the story, we reported increase in cost of fuel. And now we, as NBS is telling us, of decrease in inflation. How do you marry these two?
No, you marry the two. This inflation report is not a report of today. It is a report of some days back. Therefore, it is vividly clear that food inflation is declining. You can see bumper harvest. If you go to the market, including the perishables, the prices has decreased year on year. And if you even check month on month, it has also decreased. But the cost of energy, that has been the most disturbing factor. That is why most of the goods that are produced by manufacturing firms in the country, the prices are not coming down because the energy cost is increasing. That is one. Second, even the cost of borrowing, even though the central bank was able to stabilize the monetary policy rate at 27.50, but it's still significant to the price changes and increase.
So are you saying the energy cost will not affect the prices of goods and services? Is that what you're saying?
No. Understand, food inflation, which is normally not associated with the present situation, is likely not to be affected by the rising energy cost that we witness in few days coming, because the survey conducted is not a survey of 7 days. It was a survey of previous months. So it is likely, and it is also visible.
So what you're saying, the next survey will reflect this energy cost that is rising?
Excellent. Because
thank you so much.
Economic behavior has to do with the behavior of the market, behavior of the policy, and at the same time also reflecting other variables that are involved in taking survey. Presently, energy cost, especially gas, has increased. So if that increase that we witnessed this week, it's likely to reflect in the next coming survey, which probably the Bureau of Statistics is going to carry out.
That will be in the next few weeks, maybe 3 weeks or 4 weeks.
3 weeks or 4 weeks, it has to reflect.
So as an economist, what advice will you give government before these 3 weeks materializes?
The most fundamental things to maintain price stability is to make sure that all indices that are changing prices must be avoided, especially increase in gasoline price, increase in domestic energy variables. Because if you allow prices of energy to change, it has multiplier effect. Changing multiplier effect will affect several goods that are put in the basket of survey by the Bureau of Statistics. So it is very good. The central bank should take note. That is on the angle of monetary policy, and at the same time, conventionally, government must also look into these distortions that is coming without much problem, especially when you look at the strike that has been embarked by Pengerson and related industrial unions. They are not helping this economy. Let me just be frank about that.
Thank you so much, economist Yusha'u Aliyu. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Moving on, Bayelsa State Governor Duye Diri has resigned from the People's Democratic Party (PDP), according to a post on Facebook by his Chief Press Secretary Daniel Alabra. Alabra said the governor resigned from the PDP with the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Abraham Igobere, along with all the PDP members in the state legislature. Governor Diri's resignation from the PDP brings to an end months of speculations over his alleged move to All Progressives Congress, APC. But Alabra did not state the political party Governor Diri will be joining. Reports say the governor made the announcement on Wednesday during the weekly State Executive Council meeting inside Government House, Yenagoa. It is believed that all members of the State Executive Council have resigned alongside the governor.
Of the People's Democratic Party. And I'm not going to resign alone. And as you can see, I'm here with Mr. Speaker, Deputy Speaker, and all the members of our party who are going to go with me. There are some who are not here because they are on official assignments. And so today, I have formally resigned my membership of the People's Democratic Party for very obvious reasons. I'm grateful to all my friends and supporters who have stood by us and with us. And I want to thank all of you again and again. And together, we will continue to build a strong and virile Bayelsa State and a strong and virile country by extension.
Meanwhile, reactions have continued to trail the resignation of Bayelsa State Governor Senator Duye Diri from the People's Democratic Party (PDP), the platform that brought him to power. The governor is, however, yet to disclose the political party he intends to join. Trust TV's Friday Ebimobowet Peter has this perspective.
The political atmosphere in Bayelsa State took a dramatic turn on Wednesday as Governor Duye Diri formally announced his resignation from the People's Democratic Party (PDP). The governor made the announcement before the commencement of the 174th session of the State Executive Council meeting, which had in attendance the Speaker and members of the Bayelsa State House of Assembly. His decision has sent shockwaves across the state political landscape and the PDP family nationwide. For some residents like Pastor Newman Shagari and Joshua Michael, the governor's exit did not come as a surprise.
Party is a matter of choice. You have the right to decamp, you have the right to recamp. So if you resign, I think it's a choice. He make a decision, I think it bears note to him. No, there is no way they can introduce one party system. It can be done because we have over millions of Nigerians that are eager, that need this office, and they have to exert their right.
Well, me, I'm not surprised because I already know that this kind of thing could happen. When you see the constitution on the Nigeria now, and anybody that knows the cap for the post to the other party to the other one, it only get problem.
Meanwhile, the state chairman of the Accord Party, Victor Weniprefisi, described the governor's move as a welcome development, saying the PDP is already sinking both at the state and national levels. He, however, urged the governor's supporters to follow suit.
Politics is a game of interest. He knows what is good for him because as it stands now, even the PDP at the state level is sinking. We have factional group, but also at the national level. That the party for now, so the so-called umbrella is now apart now. It has been torn. Are you also aware that the governor just resigned from PDP? He has not told us which party is he going to belong to. We'll know whether maybe he may come to our Accord party or whichever party,
Governor Diri, who was first elected under the PDP platform in 2020 and re-elected in 2023, has been a key figure in the party's South-South structure. He noted that his resignation was due to what he described as obvious reasons. According to some residents in the state, it is unusual for a sitting governor to resign from a political party without informing the people of his next move. They expressed concern that the development may signal a drift towards a one-party system allegedly being promoted at the national level, a move they say is unhealthy for Nigeria's democracy. Friday, Ebimobowe Peter, Trust TV News, Yenagua.
Meanwhile, former Bayelsa State Governor Sirike Dixon, who now represents Bayelsa West Senatorial District, has strongly criticized Governor Dueduri's defection from the People's Democratic Party. The former Bayelsa State Governor, who spoke in Abuja on Wednesday, described the move as a setback to Nigeria's multi-party democracy.
Governor Dueduri of Bayelsa State announced his resignation from the People's Democratic Party (PDP) on Wednesday at the Exco chamber of the Bayelsa State Government House. This is coming barely 24 hours after the Enugu State Governor Peter Mba also joined the ruling All Progressives Congress. Although the details of Duri's defection remain sketchy, many political watchers are already convinced that the governor and the 23 lawmakers who resigned alongside him are heading for the APC. The governor's shifting allegiances has drawn a lot of reactions, and one person who is not happy about it is his predecessor in office. A senator representing Bayelsa West, Sirike Dixon, acknowledges that the ongoing internal crisis within the PDP and weak national leadership has significantly weakened democratic growth in the country. But he is concerned over the impact of defections like Governor Diri's, warning that they undermine the political stability and democratic diversity.
In this case, the governor consulted me several times to his credit. And I was not convinced because I didn't see any compelling reason for a second-term governor to defect. No reason. And we know the issues in the PDP, but issues are there to be solved by the governors and the leaders. Have they not been the leaders of the parties? And if we don't succeed in retrieving the PDP, in saving the PDP, then we'll be part of a collective decision, which again should not be the ruling party, because I believe there must be opposition. A democracy without opposition ceases to be democracy.
Speaking on a different plane, Senator Dixon has lent his full support to President Bola Tinubu's nomination of Professor Joash Amupitan as chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, stressing that opposition politics should not be mere blind antagonism. A senator representing Bayelsa West points out that the appointment of a senior advocate of Nigeria as INEC chairman is historic and could boost the electoral body's credibility while strengthening Nigeria's democracy going forward.
Here am I supporting the president's nomination. By the Constitution, it is the responsibility of the president to forward a name of INEC chairman to us. And he has done that. I know there are people who say a president who is partisan should not have that power. But that is not the law as it is. That is the law as it ought to be, probably.
Governor Diri and his fellow travelers may be preparing to officially announce their defection to the APC in the coming days.
Still on the PDP, which appears to have suffered another major setback following the defection of Enugu State Governor Peter Mba and now Bayelsa State Governor Dueduri to the All Progressives Congress APC. Their exit reduces the number of PDP governors to 8, down from 11 after the 2023 elections, a reflection of the opposition's deepening troubles. With the latest changes, the APC now controls 24 states, while the PDP holds 8. The Labour Party, All Progressives Grand Alliance, and the New Nigeria People's Party each govern one state as of Wednesday. The remaining PDP governors are Adamawa Ahmadu Fintiri, Bauchi Bala Mohammed, Plateau Caleb Mufwang, Taraba Abu Kefas, Zamfara Dawud Lawal, Oyo Sheyi Makinde, Rivers Similai Fubara, Oshun Ademola Adeleke. Sources within the PDP say more defections could follow as rumors persist around some governors, including Taraba's Abu Kefas, considering their options. The fresh defections come just days after PDP Governors Forum Chairman and Bauchi State Governor, Senator Bala Mohammed, admitted that the opposition is struggling to retain its members amid rising pressure from the ruling APC. Meanwhile, two members of the Nasarawa State House of Assembly elected on the platform of the Social Democrat Party, SDP, Musa Said Gude, representing Uke Karshi constituency, and Onarigu Ona Kana, who represents Udege local constituency, have defected to the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC. The Speaker of the Assembly, Nladi Jato, announced the defection Tuesday during proceedings in Lafayette State Assembly. The report.
According to the Speaker, Kana cited crisis rocking the SDP at the national level as his reason for defecting, while Goody stated that he was motivated by the ideology and programs of the APC.
My resolve to decamp from the Social Democratic Party, SDP, and join the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC. I leverage on this privilege and platform to inform you of my resolve to decamp from the Social Democratic Party, SDP, and join the All Progressive Congress, APC. This decision was reached after the consultation with my constituents, who are applauding the party ideology of the building of the ruling All Progressive Congress and its program and policies for a better Nasarawa and Nigeria.
The Speaker appreciated the lawmakers for their decision to join the APC and appealed to the party to give them automatic tickets ahead of the 2027 general election. The sole SDP member representing Lafayette Central Constituency, Solomon Yakubu Akwashiki, acknowledged the defectors' right to join the APC based on their convictions. However, he disagreed with Kana's claim of crisis in the SDP, stating that there is no such crisis.
And if you want to leave a party, don't demarcate a party where you are benefited. That is my position. And so, when you say crisis, I have not seen crisis in SDP yet. He choose that path to demarcate the party where they help him. And I can assure you that even you and even the ruling party will not be happy.
The current composition of the assembly is APC 15, PDP 8, and SDP 1. Meanwhile, the Nasarawa APC has warned its governorship aspirant to refrain from castigating each other on social media.
In other news, Governor Dikko Radda of Katsina State has reaffirmed his administration's stance against negotiating with bandits, insisting that the state will not engage with criminal groups terrorizing parts of the state. Speaking on Wednesday while inaugurating 100 new members of the Community Watch Corps, Sea Watch, in Katsina, Governor Radda said his government remains committed to community-driven peace efforts but will not compromise on justice or security. He explained that the Katsina model empowers local communities to initiate dialogue with repentant bandits willing to surrender their arms, noting that this approach has yielded significant progress, with Jibia recording 8 months of calm and Batsari enjoying 7 months of uninterrupted peace. Governor Radda, however, emphasized that military and police operations remain critical to consolidating security gains across the state. Earlier, the Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Nasir Muazu, commended Governor Radda's leadership, noting that the community-based approach had drastically reduced banditry in several hotspots.
What we are graduating today will bring the total number of local governments with Sea Watch presence of about 20 local governments out of the 34 local governments in the state. The community approach is not just a strategy, but a vision and empower our people to take ownership of their safety and well-being.
The government believes that the community-driven approach better serve a community-driven crisis. The transition from the kinetic focus to a non-kinetic approach in tackling insecurity has always been our objective. I wish to use this opportunity to address the conception about how we are achieving peace in our communities. The headlines read that Katsina State government is negotiating with bandits, but that is far from reality. I have publicly maintained that the government will not negotiate with bandits, but we will always welcome peace. It is our duty and responsibility to secure lives and livelihood, and we shall pursue all means necessary to achieve, and more importantly, to sustain peace and security in Katsina State.
Still in Katsina, tension is reportedly rising in Kankara local government area of Katsina State, following the killings of 3 persons in Mabai village by suspected repentant bandits. Barely minutes after the Kakumi Peace Accord was signed in Bakori local government area on Sunday. The latest peace accord in Katsina involves communities from 5 local government areas of Kankara, Malumhashi, Bakori, Huntua, and Kafur. TOS TV's Abdullahi Ahmadi was in Mabai village in Kankara local government area and now reports.
The trouble reportedly began when a group of bandits allegedly provoked military personnel stationed at a base in Mabai village while passing through on their way to the peace meeting in Kakumi. According to eyewitnesses, the bandits mocked the soldiers as they passed. On their return from the peace accord, the military personnel allegedly opened fire on them, killing about 5 and seizing about 20 motorcycles. Those who escaped the attack fled back into Mabai village, shooting indiscriminately and killing a middle-aged woman, a young girl, and the village head Umaru Ahmad on the spot. When Trust TV News visited the community on Tuesday, residents were mourning the death of their loved ones and calling on authorities to intervene and restore calm. Our ward head was killed by violent bandits who struck in a broad daylight, shooting indiscriminately in retaliation for the killing of 5 of their members. 2 women were also killed in the process. May their souls rest in peace. We have lost over 20 people in this village since the beginning of banditry. I am the eldest son of the late ward head. What we need now are constant prayers and sincerity of purpose to end these killings and abductions for ransom. May the souls of those who lost their lives be admitted into Jannatul Firdausi. Mabai village lies about 10 to 12 kilometers from Kankara town, the headquarters of Kankara local government area, along the Kankara-Sheme road. Now, the repentant bandits are reportedly demanding that the soldiers stationed at the Mabai military base return their seized motorcycles. As tension continues to mount, residents say fear is spreading across Kankara, while the bandits insist that the peace accord can only stand if their motorcycles are returned. From what I heard, the bandits provoked this massacre by mocking the military while heading to the peace accord in Kakumi. I hope the authorities will intervene. To say peace has fully returned would be untrue. I am from Gurdugau community, but my family and I are still taking refuge in Ergoje village due to fear of renewed attacks. I can't go back home yet. In the meantime, villagers fear that some of the same men they shook hands with in Kakumi could turn against them if the fragile truce collapses. For now, the people of southern Katsina are wary of war. Their only wish is to live, farm, pray, and sleep without fear. Because in this corner of Nigeria, peace, however fragile, is better than the silence of the grave. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
Sultan of Sokoto, His Eminence Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, has expressed deep concern over the growing misuse of social media, particularly among scholars, warning that its unregulated use poses a serious threat to peace, unity, and mutual respect in Nigeria. Speaking through the Emir of Zazzau, Ambassador Ahmad Nuhu Bamali, during the special Northern Ulama Summit held in Kaduna, the Sultan commended Islamic scholars for gathering to deliberate on issues affecting the Muslim Ummah and national security, but expressed displeasure over the reckless use of online platforms. Trust TV's Bello Musa reports.
The summit was convened by the Congregation of Northern Ulama to address insecurity and socio-economic challenges in the region. Leaders of different Islamic sects attended the meeting with the aim of strengthening unity among the Muslim Ummah and finding solutions to the myriad of challenges confronting both the Muslim community and the nation. The Sultan of Sokoto, represented by the Emir of Zazzau, Ambassador Ahmed Nuhu Bamali, emphasized the need for accountability and responsibility in the use of social media, urging scholars to address the root causes of online discord. President of the Supreme Council for Sharia in Nigeria, Dr. Bashir Ali Umar, said the gathering was aimed at fostering unity and developing actionable solutions to national issues.
So it is an attempt to come together and provide a joint solution and joint action plan that our Muslims in this country will be committed to towards achieving solutions to the myriad problems that are bedeviling several parts of this country.
Prominent scholar Sheikh Ahmed Gumi cautioned against total censorship of social media, but called for strict enforcement of existing laws to curb its abuse.
I don't think freedom of speech is the natural right of every human being. What we are saying is that there are already existing laws for defamation, for accusations. What we want the law is to come up to that level of social media.
Former governor of Zamfara State, Abdulaziz Yari, said the North must stop shifting blame and take responsibility for addressing its security challenges.
And it's not a kind of shifting blame to government of the day and the other government coming. That government did not do this, government do that. Alhamdulillah, some of the people, the speakers, mentioned that the issue of security is a collective responsibility, not only government.
Representing the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Al-Hassan Adurugwa, pledged legislative collaboration to support the resolutions reached at the summit.
We remain committed to patronizing and partnering with initiatives of this nature as an institution that are charged with constitutional responsibility to make laws for the peace and for the peace and good governance of the country. As an institution, I think what the ulamas are doing here is like they are complementing our constitutional role.
You can see that the insecurity is not to be left in the hands of security agencies alone. It's the responsibility of everybody in Nigeria, more especially the religious organizations. They have a role to play. So therefore, that is the essence of converging this summit here in Kaduna. See how the religious organization will come together to complement the efforts of our security agencies in bringing to the end of this insecurity ravaging the northern Nigeria in particular and Nigeria in general. I think
Senator Kaus Mela of Kano also addressed recent international allegations of religious persecution, dismissing claims of genocide against Christians in Nigeria as false, and noted that even Christian lawmakers in the Senate have debunked such reports. The summit concluded with a strong call for unity, responsible leadership, and collaboration between religious and political leaders to tackle insecurity, economic decline, and the divisive use of social media. Bello Musa, Trust TV News Kaduna.
You're watching News Hour on Trust TV. Coming up after the break, federal workers urge President Tinubu to pay outstanding 3 months wage award. We'll have more news when we return. Don't go away. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is News Hour on Trust TV. Let's take a look at our earlier stories. Fuel scarcity, price hikes nationwide as motorists pay above 1,000 naira per litre. And we also told you ADC warns National Assembly against plan to shift the 2027 elections to 2026. Moving on now. Federal workers under the platform of the Federal Workers Forum, FWF, have appealed to the federal government to pay their 3 months wage award. FWF made this appeal in a statement signed by its national coordinator, Andrew Emeleze, on Wednesday. Emeleze in the statement said the refusal of the federal government to pay up the balance of the outstanding 3 months wage award as promised by the Accountant General of the Federation has shown clearly how government has been treating their workers. He said that the payment of 35,000 naira wage award was put in place after a series of pressures by the workers. He lamented that the payment since its implementation has been inconsistent and staggering. Emeleze urged the government to pay the balance of the outstanding 3 months wage award and also clear the backlog of promotion arrears all the federal workers. Amid the current economic hardship facing the country, many women have stepped up to support their families. As a result, more women are gradually becoming the primary breadwinners in their homes. Speaking to Trust TV's Victoria Tokolo, several women in Lagos State shared the challenges they face in fulfilling this growing role. The report.
Across Nigeria, more women are now taking charge as breadwinners, managing the financial and emotional well-being of their families. From market traders and widows to professionals and entrepreneurs, women are increasingly handling responsibilities once traditionally performed by men. While training initiatives like Olam Agri's Baking Academy are helping women build sustainable businesses, organizations such as the Wevo Foundation and the Lapo Microfinance Bank continue to provide loans and empowerment programs for female breadwinners. However, experts know that these women still face significant challenges, including cultural stigma, limited access to credit, and the pressure of balancing work with family responsibilities. In Lagos, many women serving as family breadwinners spoke about their daily struggles and determination to provide for their loved ones.
My 2 children at Federal University. To pay the school fees is not easy. There is no husband, there is no relative, there is no family. I'm only the one that rugged it, and it's not easy. This is what I'm selling to support my children and my families. That is selling water, drinks, OCs, and retail price. There are some women that they love their children more than to just throw them in the world to just going up and down, because that thing used to damage family. It used to damage family. That's why some women keep quiet and but only recently I realized that anything that is bothering you, that will cause you any health challenge, you can decide on what you see that will make you happy. But if you are a strong woman that you can face the challenge that is inside the marriage recently, God will help the woman.
At first now, on the jobs aspects, females are now getting all the jobs. Let me say, for example, if you call any customer care now, it's female voices that you hear. Females are ones that are receptionists in everywhere. So they are making the jobs not really good for the males, the men aspect. And secondly, the entrepreneurship. In terms of entrepreneurship, they are the ones opening their business now.
Some men, however, expressed concerns that women now dominate access to employment and entrepreneurship opportunities, leaving many men frustrated and struggling to find work. This shift in household dynamics has also created tension in some homes as traditional gender roles are redefined.
It's not that our men, they are not trying. They are trying their power. And we women, because we have an upper hand to do more than them. It's not that a man, they don't even do. They are trying. At least if a man can give you 5,000 naira, 3,000 naira to do something at home. But we will also have that kind of like 5,000 naira, 10,000 naira to give to support. It's not that our man don't even do, our man was so useless. No. People are Nigeria now. If you women just put our hand, we won't use a good things in life.
They are the ones caring for children. They are the ones taking care of children, seeing the welfare of the child, even in terms of schooling, in terms of paying rent. It's the women most times that is doing most of those things. Not all men, but there are some men that they are wicked, and there are also some women that are also wicked. So it's both sides, not one person's challenges.
Women are taking over many responsibilities due to what we have seen in our economy. Any woman that has sense cannot leave the job alone for a man. Because if you leave all the jobs to the men to be doing, it will weigh them down.
Analysts argue that while women's economic power continues to grow, society must promote fairness by ensuring equal access to finance, creating supportive work environments, and changing mindsets to help female breadwinners thrive without bearing the double burden of survival and social judgment.
To business news now. Amid worsening supply challenges and rising pump prices, petroleum marketers have begun moves to import petrol independently as the commodity moved closer to the 1,000 naira per litre mark across major cities in the country. Marketers said supply constraints and production glitches at the Dangote Petroleum Refinery sparked fresh pressure in the downstream oil market. The National Public Secretary of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Chinedu Ukadike, confirmed the development on Tuesday. According to him, members of the Depot and Petroleum Products Marketers Association of Nigeria are concluding arrangements to begin petrol importation as part of efforts to stabilize retail prices. This comes at a time when Nigerians were expecting petrol prices to drop to at least 841 naira per litre as recommended by the Dangote Refinery. On the foreign scene, tributes are pouring in from around the world following the death of former Kenyan Prime Minister Raila Odinga, widely regarded as the president Kenya never had. President William Ruto described Odinga as a once-in-a-generation leader and the father of Kenyan democracy, praising his lifelong fight for freedom, justice, and unity. Born in 1945, Raila Odinga's political journey spanned over 5 decades. A fierce advocate for multi-party democracy, he was detained twice under President Daniel Arap Moi's regime and went on to become one of Africa's most enduring opposition voices. Despite 5 unsuccessful presidential bids, Raila Odinga remained a symbol of resilience and reforms. His recent political pact with President Ruto marked a rare moment of reconciliation in Kenya's often divisive politics. Fondly known as Baba, meaning father, Raila Odinga was admired across Africa for his courage, intellect, and charisma. He is survived by his wife, Ida, and 3 children. President Ruto has declared 7 days of national mourning and announced a state funeral with full military honors for the late Raila Odinga. For sports, let's join Joseph Peter.
The Flamingos, Nigeria's under-17 women national team, brought their pre-World Cup preparation to a triumphant end with a hard-fought 3-2 victory over Paraguay in Casablanca on Tuesday evening. The match was a thrilling encounter that showcased the team's pace, precision, and determination. The Flamingos wasted no time announcing their intent, taking the lead inside the opening 2 minutes. Goalkeeper Elizabeth Boniface launched a pinpoint long ball that found Captain Shakira Mashoud, who cleverly laid it off for Mariam Yahaya. The forward made no mistake, chipping the onrushing Paraguayan goalkeeper to give Nigeria an early advantage. However, the lead was short-lived as Paraguay found a lifeline in the 15th minute after a defensive error from Cristiana Sunday gifted them an equalizer against the run of play. The South Americans grew in confidence, forcing Boniface into 2 fine saves as the Flamingos lost their rhythm. But the Nigerians quickly regained control, and just before halftime they were back in front. A defensive mix-up at the back allowed Yahaya to pounce for her brace in the 44th minute before completing a sensational first-half hat-trick a minute later, thanks to a delightful pass from Kasorat Olarenwaju. The second half saw the Flamingos maintain their attacking momentum with Ayomide Abubakar and Shakira Mashoud both coming close to adding to the tally. Substitute goalkeeper Sylvia Echefu made a crucial save in the 69th minute to preserve Nigeria's 2-goal cushion as Paraguay searched for a route back into the game. In the final moments, another defensive lapses allowed Paraguay to pull one back, but it was too late to deny Nigeria a deserved 3-2 win. The victory marked the culmination of the team's 12-game warm-up campaign, during which they scored an impressive 50 goals while conceding just 6. With their Morocco training camp now concluded, the Flamingos will head to Rabat on Wednesday morning to settle into their FIFA accommodation ahead of the 2025 Under-17 Women's World Cup, which kicks off October 17. Drawn in Group D, Nigeria would open their campaign against Canada on Sunday, October 19, then face France 3 days later before wrapping up the group stage against Samoa on October 25. The Flamingos will be looking to build on their impressive form as they take on the best young female footballers from around the world in the upcoming tournament. With their talent, determination, and experience, they are sure to make a strong impression on the global stage. That's Sport News. I'm Joseph Peter.
With that, we come to the end of this edition of News Hour on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news. Thank you for watching. I am Muhammad Kuda Abubakar. Good night.